Hello, this is our first flute lesson. This is my pupil, Jon DeAnda, and here we go. So, Mr. Jon, will you open up your flute case? All right, you will notice there's three parts of the flute. We have the head joint, which looks like this. We also have the body, it's the main piece of the flute, and our foot joint, tiny piece. So we're gonna first assemble our flute. So Jon, can you please take your head joint? And then we'll take the body. And if you take notice, there is brass, colored brass at the edge right here. So you can actually grab this more firmly in your hand. And from this and here, you're going to connect them. Well, actually you have the other side wrong. This side with the labeling. And you can slide it all the way. And then you can put at least a little nickel showing of the brass, like two nickels stacked on top of each other. Once you have a nice desired, then we can line up the tone hole, which is the little open area, with the keys. Perfect. And then check how much of a nickel you have. That looks pretty good. And a way to check that it's aligned is that you can see from the keys that it matches really well with the tone hole. So for me, this looks great. Does it look great to you?
Yep. I think
perfect. So. Then we'll take our foot joint and attach it to the bottom piece of the body. So where the brass section is showing, so it'll be right here. It's a little bit harder to put on, but there you go. And now you can connect all the way. And see how the bar is aligned with the bottom keys? Once you go in plain position, you can adjust the foot joint to how your pinky feels the most comfortable. And your right pinky will be on this little bar. So first, now that we have assembled our instruments, we can start with our embouchure. So you can remove the head joint, and then we can just put it gently on top of the case, and we can put this in the case as well. For starting for embouchure, give me your best raiders yawn up. Perfect. Now we're gonna flip it this way, and this part is gonna go right in the crevice between your bottom lip and your chin. It's gonna fit really nicely, and you wanna feel that little crevice there. Now, like you're a bored YouTube face, like you're watching the most boring YouTube face, relax your face, and you're gonna say, yum. Yum. Notice how your lips are together, and bring your corners tight. Make sure your corners are really tight and firm. So like a bored YouTube face, and then do yum. 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 And make sure you're not moving this. It wants to be tight because this is going to be replaced with the actual mouthpiece. Yum. Yeah, so do it with your corners tight already. Yum. 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 And relax your lips as well because you're creating a little bit of a pout. You want a flat lip. Yum. Yum. And keep on doing that at least 3 times. Yum. 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 And once you get that yum, like Winnie the Pooh, we're going to use the syllable poo to let the air come in. Poo. Yum. 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 So when we're playing on the instruments, that poo is going to help us save our air from our diaphragm instead of having an open embouchure because we waste more air. So look at me. This is the correct way. Yum. This is incorrect. Yum. See, my embouchure is open. We don't want that. So we want to start with the yum. So try it for me 3 times. Yum. Yum. You can even have a little bit more tight corners. Yum. And right now you'll notice that your direction of air is kind of floppy everywhere. So you can bring your other hand, your left hand, bring it up to your face. And for a little while, just try blowing, and then you want to have kind of in the center of your palm. So you can bring your, like this. Yum. And you'll feel where the direction of your air is. So try having it in the face of your palm. Yum. More air.
Nyum. Nyum.
And you can try directing your air up and down.
Nyum. Nyum.
So when we're creating our air direction flow, you might notice with tighter corners, our air will go directly up and our bottom lip will come out a little bit more. And when we go down, when we lower it down from further from our palm, you'll notice that our corners will get a little bit less tight and more relaxed to create that lower things. So now that we know that, we will take our headpiece. Here you go. And practice your with your finger embouchure.
Nyum. 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 Nyum.
And once you're comfortable, you can bring it to your face.
Nyum.
And just replace. And when we're putting on our mouthpiece, we want to have it aligned so you can see from the camera, you can see how you have it aligned. So you're going to bring this, kind of replace to the crevice, adjust it to however it is. And for the tone hole, our bottom lip is going to cover at least 1/3 of it, because that's what creates the sound. Perfect. And you can actually hold this one a little bit down here. There you go, perfect. And you can have this to support it as well, because we want to keep it as straight as possible. It's going to be perpendicular with your head and with the head joint. So when you're ready, you can go.
Nyum. 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 Nyum.
So direct your air down and have more tight corners, and take a deep breath from your stomach. So you want that diaphragm to be filled.
Nyum. Nyum.
And you're also, remember the poo, we're starting with a closed lips.
Nyum.
There we go. Keep trying that 3 times.
Nyum.
Also, what I'm noticing is that when you're creating that sound, you can see little vapor right here, and it's perfect right in the center, like a little triangle. So now that you got your notes settled, let's assemble the full instrument. So just like we did, take your flute with the labeling and make sure there's at least a nickel of the brass showing. And do you remember how we check if it's aligned well? Look at the keys. You want them to be straight with the tone hole. That looks good. So when we're setting up in our plane position, our fingers are going to go just like this. You have the perfect here. So our index finger is labeled 1. It skips the first one and places right here. So 1, we skip, middle finger, this, and then our pinky goes on the top. And then for this bottom piece, you see the open holes right here. So your index is going to go right here. Perfect. And then this one, and then our pinky goes right here in the C sharp key. As for our thumbs, you may be wondering, what do I do with my thumbs? This thumb is going to go in this little gulf, so you're going to press on this gulf. That's what creates the octave. And then our fingers, we want them to be flat. You have a good knuckle joint, you want this. When you have it up in plane position, you're going to feel all the weight to be right here, because we're trying to push the flute into our little crevice, and this is what helps it. And our thumb, we can have our thumb anywhere. Usually students feel it's best between the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, kind of in the little arrangement. It's whatever feels comfortable to you. Okay, looks good. So you're going to do a crouch position for me, which means that you're going to take your flute with your hand position, and you're just going to go down. And you're going to bring the flute to your face, just like we taught. And you can take a look in the mirror if your lip plate is matching with your lips. You want it to be aligned. So you can bring this down here. Feels a little awkward. It's going to feel a little bit down and tilt your head. This is just to get the angle to get it to play. I'm going to move your pinky because it's a little bit far right here. Take a look at the hand position. And we're going to try to play note F, which is index, second, third, no pinky, 1, 2, and then 5, 6, 7. Actually, this one, and then these are up, and then the pinky is down. And we're holding that octave.
No, wait, I push it?
Yes, you push the golf club. Hold it down. And when you're ready, practice the and then go. Oh, there we go. I'll stop you right there. I see the flute a little bit shaking. Try pushing in more with this, the little joint of this. You're going to push in more so it can keep it stabilized. For me, can you try rotating out just to see where your best tone is? Can you do more air? I think that's your best one. I'm going to rotate it a little bit like that. Try it. Okay, rest. It's a lot of air. So when we're taking deep breaths in, I notice you have a lot of short. So breathe more from your diaphragm and then breathe out. And let's practice it with the embouchure like we're doing but without the just have it already set. So breathe in. There we go. And you will notice too when we're playing on the flute that you were getting higher registers because your air is really fast. You're going to create the direction of the air is going over the tone hole, which helps us get that higher octave. So for the lower octave, it's kind of just like a sigh, like. So it's kind of like slower air, but faster. So let's try it again. There we go. That sounds good. Now, with this same position, what you're going to do is you're going to move from here and bring it up. Perfect. You can relax a little bit. Bring your shoulders down. There we go. And you will notice that your angle of the flute is a little bit downward. So let's bring it a little bit straight. There we go. And your head, you're having it tilted, so bring it a little bit straight. Perfect. Let's check your hand position. Good. And when you're ready, go ahead. You can try rotating out. See how it feels like this? And direct your air more down. And start with the poo. There you go. So you can breathe in from your nose and start with closed lips. Oh, that sounds great. And tight corners. That sounds wonderful. And now you have learned how to play F on the flute.
Yay! My arms are tired.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. This was our lesson with Jon DeAnda.